Well, it was more than difficult. I'd say it's first very unique because it's based on the Indo-Pakistani War that happened in '71. It's a classified file, so none of us really know what the real story is. So somebody with so many injuries, possibilities that cannot be done in bodybuilding, and he's really outbeaten that, and that's like sheer willpower, sheer strength that that's a man like that has.
Why this submarine? Why not love stories? I'm not good in telling a love story at this point of time.
Okay. Baahubuli 2. Do we get an answer for the question?
Of course, yes, of course, which is why it's called the conclusion. Why Kattappa killed Baahubali will come out in this.
Are you have any plans of getting married soon?
Of getting married?
Yeah.
No, I have no. There's no girl there, so no. I'm not getting married.
There are a lot of girls, Rana.
Yeah,
I think
there's no girl with me right now, so I'm not getting married.
Ghazi. I think it's one of its kind.
Yes, probably the only one of its kind.
Exactly. Yes. And I think that would have been quite a difficult subject as well to handle.
Well, it was more than difficult. I'd say it's first very unique because it's based on the Indo-Pakistani War that happened in '71.
Right.
A few of us know little information about the war, but not enough.
Right.
And I was one of those few who didn't know as much. But yeah, so it's a war tale. It's the first underwater war tale. It's the first submarine-based war film. It's at the same time it's the first real film for the Indian Navy. So I think at a combination of all that, it became a very unique film for us to do, because it's what are we looking for as storytellers or films? We want to tell gripping, enticing stories, and Ghazi was just that. It's an action thriller that's set underwater.
So tell us, from where did you actually think that this could be your first movie as such?
It happened accidentally.
Uh-huh.
How it happened was I went to Annavaram at that time. Because of some train delay, I went to Visakhapatnam. There I saw the submarine which is there at the Visakhapatnam beach road.
Okay.
As a museum. Once I went in there that idea struck it, and then the idea of making a submarine film started then. It was 3 years back. Then the research went on what to do with the submarine, Indian Navy, how to bring it like a more patriotic Indian film. Then I came across this Ghazi, the submarine of Pakistan which got sunk in Bay of Bengal, and it's still lying there. So how it got sunk is a mysterious element even today. These are all classified files. So this made me more interesting to get into the story, and this is how the story formed.
Okay. And when we were talking to the director, he was telling us that initially it was not Rana, it was just new faces, but Rana so loved the subject that he said, I will do it. So
see, constantly you keep looking for newer stories to tell, newer content, and in that search is where we found Sankalp. Well, he was trying to make this film as a short film and wanted to just put this together. You know how filmmakers are, they just like to tell stories. And yeah, when we found him, we obviously realized that there's a lot to this story that we can do. Padding it up with writers that are at top quality in the country, then getting a film crew that was as big and as strong. People like Madhi, people like Shrikar Prasad, all of them who came on board, actors like K.K. Menon and Atul, Puri. They all obviously because it's a new story, you have to tell it in the best possible manner.
Right.
The audience have never seen a war film underwater before. They've never seen a submarine-based film. So it's as good aesthetics as you get. Is the best viewing pleasure anybody would have. So that's what's done and made this film what it is.
For any director, when it's going to be their first movie, I think they'll be very conscious because the debut movie should be really good. They try to take some easy subjects, try to give that bang on hit. But this is a very, very heavy subject for you to bring on for your first movie, isn't it?
What I believe in, either be the first or be the best.
Okay.
So being the first submarine film, it's the first of its kind. When it releases, I'm definitely sure it's going to be the best. Because there is no comparative for the Indian cinema to have a submarine film. Why this submarine? Why not love stories? I'm not good in telling a love story at this point of time.
Okay.
I didn't try to really get into what other first-time directors do. For me, that was like a secondary thought. I don't wanted to get into that zone. So that's how make a completely different film which never seen in Indian cinema. At the same time, when I started, I was the producer. I didn't have matinee entertainment or I didn't have PVP cinema.
Okay.
So I wanted to make a film that can happen in one single location, one single room, something like that.
பாகிஸ்தான் நேவி இந்தியா மேல அஃபென்ஸ் மிஷன் பிளான் பண்ணிருக்காங்க சார். இந்த மிஷனுக்காக கராச்சில இருந்து சப்மரின் காசி அனுப்பியிருக்காங்க. லெப்டினன்ட் கமாண்டர் அர்ஜுன் எங்க?
What kind of difficulties did you actually have while filming for this movie?
See, one is because nobody has done a film like this before. Everything is new and everything is challenging. Right from building a submarine to executing underwater action to all of those things. See, first we were obviously, when I said authenticity of the film, see, it's an inspired tale. It's there are pieces of fiction in it. It's a classified file, so none of us really know what the real story is. So we had a bunch of fictional characters that we put in and told it at an Indian point of view is what the story is told. Now we have to build a submarine.
Right.
Now it's a submarine that's not of today, it's a submarine of 1971. Now this India used to have submarines from Soviet Union, from Russia at that time. So most of what we got is from the Russian museum and archives of how submarines then were built. And we built ours almost exact to detail. So if you see the trailer or tomorrow when you see the film, most of that will look extremely real and all of that works. Because the entire set is actually hydraulically built. So when you move in an ocean, it exactly moves like how you move in an ocean.
Right.
It flips like how it flips on an ocean. One compartment was built half in water, half on land.
Okay.
So we built it in a big Olympic-sized swimming pool. So we built one compartment in that. So that's how it started. Then there's obviously a lot of visual effects that we had to do for the film. Nobody had done underwater texturing before. Nobody did wars and missiles before. So all of it was a time was sit down. The film took us almost a year and a half to complete. It's just that we did a lot of trial and error before we got the final output right. And we did a lot of underwater action. Now I'm a deep sea diver.
Okay.
I've done that before. But then I did it at recreational level, not at a professional level to shoot. Now choreographing those things on land, going back into water. Now that was up and down for about 15 or 16 days, which we could, which a lot of trial and error happened. But then finally here you go, we got the product. See, one is when he'd written that version, there's a time that India faced during the wars. See, today we are in a very comfortable place. I mean, we don't know what wars are. We hear of it or look at it on TV or hear of it as history.
Right.
But to establish in a film what the position of the Indians was, what the position of the government was, what the position of civilians was, obviously we needed voices that are powerful to tell that tale. So nothing bigger than Mr. Bachchan at the first go. And first when I went up to him, obviously he knew it was content that was very new. It's a unique film that we're trying to position, which is why he lent his voice. And the same way Mr. Chiranjeevi and Surya, who is a very, very dear friend, who right from the time, even before I asked him, time that we put the posters out, time that we started putting the first initial trailers out, there was always a positive support that he's somebody who likes new cinema, he's somebody who likes new content, and he's been doing that time and again in movies. And we're very, very grateful that they've been helpful.
Did you really shoot under the waters or were it only the sets?
Underwater we shot wherever the character is interacting with water, wherever Rana is interacting with water, it's underwater. Other than that, it's set and CG.
Okay. And Taapsee Pannu, tell us about her.
Taapsee, when I narrated the script to her, even though she knows that her character is not much, there is no love story, there are no songs, nothing going fancy between her and Rana. Even knowing all those things, she immediately agreed to do this film because it's one of its kind. Her role is very limited, but the reason for she being inside, being part of the film is there is a subplot in the film.
Okay.
The subplot is it's about even dealing with the Bangladesh at that time.
Okay.
Bangladesh was not formed. It was called East Pakistan, and the current Pakistan is West Pakistan. So there were a lot of refugees. They were coming into Indian borders at that time. So we wanted to tell a story through their point of view. Why this war was happening or was supposed to happen. So that's how the Taapsee character came in, and she plays a refugee character in the film.
This is the Indian Navy. You are safe here.
Initially, when you were actually okay about doing this subject, weren't you a bit skeptical because it's going to be a newcomer and you haven't watched his work before, you have no clue of what it's going to be, and the end product should actually be the way it is narrated, so that there are so many things behind it.
See,
right?
it's his content. It's something that he's written. It's a subject that he knows. Now, as people in cinema for a very long time, whether it's the producers, whether it's myself, our responsibility was to guide him and put him on with the right team. That the film is made by many people. It's a collective art form.
Yes.
So we started off obviously with the writers. There has been a team of writers from Bombay, from Chennai, from Hyderabad. All of them who understood this format of storytelling and got to write it. then the technical crew of people like Madhi, people like Shrikar Prasad, who are like ace people in their own field, a music director like K, who understands storytelling like this, who understands filmmaking like this, and all of who came in at a level because we're doing something new. Whether it's the actors, now we had people like KK Menon, we had people like Atul, Mr. Ompuri, Nazar sir, there were a lot of people in this film. Taapsee plays a very vital role. Now, it's very easy for someone with a budget like this, with a cast like this, to make a very simple commercial film and get comfortable with it. But obviously, we chose not to do that. We chose to tell the story. A, it's because it's very important, and B, because it's very, very unique. And yeah, so Dharma picking up in Hindi. The Hindi version is released by Karan Johar and Anil Tadane, who've done Baahubali before this.
Yes.
And yeah, so I think at every step we've gotten marks of merit.
I should be asking you this, people are not going to be letting me go back home safe. So working with Ajit sir, and you're actually tweeted after seeing the Vivegum's first look poster as well. No? So tell us about it.
Very cool. I mean, I was quite surprised. I was quite shocked. I was very, very impressed with what he'd done. I in fact spoken to him, and the first thing I called when I was shooting, I looked back on Twitter and I saw that image. So I called him. I said, "Sir, is this real? What I'm looking at right now?"
Okay.
And I was really because I understand where he comes from. I've worked with him. I've worked out with him. So somebody with so many injuries, somebody with so many possibilities that cannot be done in bodybuilding, and he's really outbeaten that, and that's like sheer willpower, sheer strength that's a man like that has.
Arambamlo, we saw you a bit director in Tamil.
Yeah.
So when again are we going to see you directly in Tamil?
See, for me, I've never any film that I do, I just lend it to whichever language it has to be told in. Now, there's a film like Baahubali that I've done, which is a film for everybody. We shot it in Telugu, Tamil, and it's done well everywhere. Now, a film like Ghazi, it's a national tale. It's a tale again for everybody. So, which is why there's a opportunity to make it in all languages. Now, I'm doing a film which is the next one that I have is a political drama that's set in Anantapur, which is only a Telugu film because it happens only in that place. There's a film that I've signed and I start shooting, and I did one little schedule with a director called Satya Sivan, who did a film called Kalaga before in Tamil. Now that's a film that's based in 1945 in the Madras presidency. Now that's a full Tamil film because that's a story that has to be told in Tamil.
Right.
And so yeah, so each film that lends to whichever natural way it has to be told, I tell it.
And Baahubali too. I should be asking you about
Well, that's around the corner. It's April, end of April. That's we finished dubbing for the first part of the film, and the first half of the film. I'll post Ghazi's release, I'll finish the next piece. And yeah, 20th it's out. It's a bigger war. It's a bigger film this time.
And do we get an answer for the question?
Of course, yes, of course. Which is why it's called the conclusion. And yes, that the answer of why Kattappa killed Baahubali will come out in this.
Alright, and tell us one kind of film that you've always wanted to, because we've seen you much in like Baahubali, the Ghazi Attack, or the other one which you were telling us, which is placed right back in 1964. So all kind of goes back to a period.
Because I just think there are nicer stories there to tell, and for me, see, it's not like that. It's not like I do want to do only period films. It's just that every time there's an interesting story to tell, I like to tell it. And see, there's a power that cinema has. See, I have a power to recreate time and let audience enjoy it and us live it in that time. Now, tomorrow when you watch Ghazi, you'll exactly understand what it was to be in 1971, to be in that war. So that kind of goes back to time, gives you fresher stories to tell, nicer stories to tell. But yeah, so I enjoy those stories a lot.
இந்த போராட்டத்துல பாராட்டும் பதக்கமும் கிடைக்காது. சரித்திரத்துல நாம இருப்போமோ இல்லையோ, விசாகப்பட்டினமோட எதிர்காலத்திலயும் இந்தியாவோட எதிர்காலத்திலயும் நாம நிலைச்சிருப்போம். ஜெய் ஹிந்த்.
And Valentine's Day is around the corner. I should be asking you this because otherwise the girls again, they're going to be screwing me up. So I know everybody's asking you this. Please don't kill me for it. But have any plans of getting married soon?
Of getting married?
Yeah.
No, I have no. There's no girl there, so no. I'm not getting married.
There are a lot of girls, Rana.
Yeah,
I think
there's no girl with me right now, so I'm not getting married. But on Valentine's Day, no, I have a bunch of shows in Bombay and in Hyderabad. So Ghazi is my Valentine.
So you're just going to be flying across.
That's it.
Working hard.
Yeah.
All right. So yes, thank you so much, Rana. We're looking forward to watch Ghazi. I think once we've seen the movie, we can ask a lot more because, as you said, it's a subject that's untouched. Yes. So we will see if you have time and we can meet up after this.
Yeah. Well, the 17th of February is when Ghazi is out. It's India's first war at sea film. It's a war that you never heard about. It's the war between India and Pakistan that happened in 71. And I'm hoping you'll all watch it, enjoy it, and have one more reason to salute the Navy and be proud to be an Indian. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really kind of you to have spent some time with us today. And yes, looking forward to catch up with you again very, very soon. All right, so my dear friends, I'm sure you guys enjoyed this interview. I will be back again, but until then, the one place that you guys have to log into for any kind of cinema stuff is IndiaGlitz.com. Subscribe now. This is Kirti signing off along with the crew of IndiaGlitz and the ever charming, ever handsome Rana Daggubati. Take care. Bye-bye.
So for more news about me or cinema, watch it exclusively on IndiaGlitz.